travel, food, and entertainment, all happily a part of our lives once again. And live theater is back stronger than ever. And a local playwright is returning to the stage with grace and with plenty of humor, too. With us today is Bronwyn Carradine, debuting a comedy. It's called Unexpecting. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Unexpecting. What's it all about?
Well, Unexpecting, it follows a couple, Annie and Joe, who have been trying to have a child for 5 years. And as the play starts, Annie and Joe are kind of at the end of their patience and their pennies. And it feels like this might be their last chance. Their last chance is taken away from them to have a baby. And as that happens, someone knocks on their door. And it's a comedy. It's a cast of 4 women. And yeah, so it's Annie and Joe, the main couple, and then Annie's best friend, Pam, who's a very brash LA showrunner, and then Sawyer, who's the birth mother of the child that they're supposed to adopt.
Oh, it sounds like a great mix. So to what extent, Bronwyn, did this play, did art imitate life for you?
I would say actually my life is now imitating the art that I was creating a bit more. I started writing the show in 2019, and for me it was a way to explore really, like, as a queer person, what creating a family would entail. It's never going to be an easy thing. It's always going to cost a lot of money and a lot of heartache and have a lot of paperwork, whatever way you go down. And so for me it was a way to explore that reality, but in a fun way that's comedic. And you know, life is hilarious.
Life is hilarious. So what kinds of things happen?
In the show, well, there's actually a lot of physical comedy in the show. So the show takes place in Annie and Joe's apartment, which is a loft apartment in Gastown. It takes place in Vancouver. And there's a couple hilarious scenes where Joe and Pam, Annie's best friend, they realize that Sawyer is coming to their house. And they have to scramble to then clean up the house and make sure that it's appropriate for...
We're going to be good parents, honest.
Exactly, yeah. So they're hiding all the wine bottles in the dishwasher, and all the dirty dishes go in the stove. And it's kind of what happens when chaos ensues, and how you're not really thinking straight. You're just doing what you need to do.
Well, you point out, like, this in this particular story, it's about a queer couple kind of navigating that world. But I mean, these are universal themes for anyone considering having a family. So what's your hope in terms of who comes to appreciate this work?
I mean, I hope everyone comes. I think you're right. I think it's very universal, just about creating a family, whether, you know, whoever you are, and whether that's a chosen family or with your partner, a bit of that. And I hope people come and they want to laugh, and I hope people come and they feel like they really connect with these characters. And the way that we've set up the theater is we're in Studio 16, and so we actually set it up so you walk through the apartment to get to the seats. So I hope that people feel like they're really entering the lives of these characters. Right,
and we've got some of the cast members scrolling through it as you and I are talking. And this is an all-female cast.
It's an all-female cast, yeah.
Why was that important for you?
Well, for me, it's interesting. I started writing the show again, as I said, in 2019, and was exploring, like, how am I telling this story about this queer couple, and they've been trying to have a child, and at first, I had a father as a figure of it, and then as I was working on it, I felt, well, wait, we could just do this with all women? Yeah. And it is, I think that in itself is a statement. There's 4 strong women on stage, and they're not talking about men. I don't know, for me, I think that's exciting.
Good on you, good on you. No, but interesting timing for the premiere. You've got another little project on the go.
I do, yes. As I was saying, I am running the BMO Marathon the day after the show opens.
The full marathon? The
full marathon.
Have you done a marathon before?
I have not. This will be my first official marathon.
So how did this all work out, that this happens like within hours, the 2 major events in your life?
Yes, it's going to be a big weekend. I think my mom is actually coming in from Ontario, so she's happy that she gets to be here for both big things.
I want to hear about how your days unfold, because you've got to get training and rehearsing in there.
Yeah, and my full-time job. So it's It's definitely a lot. I have a very understanding partner. But for me, actually, running really grounds me. And especially long distance running. I run with a run club as well in Burnaby. And they're amazing people, and none of them work in theater, which is kind of nice to be able to talk about these life things, and that they also really connect with the stories, and they're all coming to see the show. But taking those 2 to 3 hours every single Saturday, and then a couple hours throughout the week, it really lets me focus.
That's a commitment.
It is
Okay.
a commitment,
Okay. Well, I hope that you have a great run. I hope the show has a great run.
Thank you.
Where is it showing?
So it's at Studio 16, which is as known as like the Sesium space. And it's a very small, intimate space. It's just under 100 seats. So it's really going to feel like you're part of the action.
Bronwyn, have a great time.
Thank you
Seriously,
so much.
thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much.